Okay, gents, this week's homework is to produce a slide on size data. That's a PowerPoint slide. As it says up here, create a PowerPoint slide. What is it about? It's about looking at 8 different components. What I want you to do is look at a PTM. I want you to look at a 7-segment display, a single pole, single throw, a buzzer, LED, rocker switch, LED holder, and illuminated PTM. Now I've drawn them on the board. I want you to take photos. What do I want you to take photos of? Well, here they are, gents. Here are the components that your teacher will give you, okay? And they'll give you a little bit of time in lessons to measure these with rulers and with a vernier caliper. This here is a vernier caliper. Now, my group, being extra bright, have decided they're going to nominate 8 people, and 8 people are going to measure up one of the components, and then they're going to share that information with the rest of the group. And so you'd have to do a lot less work than each one of you measuring up all 8 components. So you might want to think about that. Right, what do you need for each component? Well, you're going to need an image of the component, and you might have to have an image of the component on the 3/4 view as well, so we can see what it is. For example, this 7-segment display, we can see it from one side. You might want to also include it from the other side and include it, so you've got a 3-dimensional representation of it as well. The other information that we need is the diameters. This symbol here that I've included on the board represents diameter. We need to know the hole that we either cut on the laser cutter or we drill with the pillar drill so we can put the PTM into position. So that is crucial. Other information, let's just have a look. Your slide needs to, of course, have a title. It needs to have an introduction. And finally, it will need to have a conclusion as well. The work needs to be submitted to your team, and we're going to probably put a date on this of this coming Sunday at 11:59. Finally, what I have not mentioned is the other dimension you need to include, the dimension below the circuit board. So that is this dimension here. Why do you need to include that? You need to know how much of the component is under the PCB so you can leave room in your enclosure. I hope that makes sense, gents. Okay, any issues, please contact me, humphreyjs@dulwich.org.uk, and I will endeavour to answer all of your questions. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I would have thought your final slide will look quite like what's on the board. However, there will be photographs, not drawn images. I hope that makes sense.